I want to welcome everyone here to the intersection of Telegraph and Broadway. This is the press conference put on by Occupy Oakland to announce plans for the general strike and mass day of action this coming Wednesday, November 2nd. We're going to have a series of speakers from different backgrounds, different constituencies who will be participating in the general strike and mass day of action. This will only last about 20 minutes, 25 minutes max. So thank you all for coming, and yeah, let's get the show on the road.
Hello, welcome. Is this on? Hello, welcome. My name is Louise Michelle. I'm an organizer with Occupy Oakland. I've been with this occupation from day one. I want to welcome you. We stand here at the intersection of Telegraph and Broadway. This is the epicenter of the Oakland General Strike of 1946, the last general strike in the indigenous lands now occupied by the United States. This Wednesday, November 2nd, the people of Oakland are going to make history once again as we shut down the city in a general strike and mass day of action called for by the General Assembly of Occupy Oakland. The Occupy Oakland movement was sparked by a need to end police attacks on our communities, to defend our schools and libraries against closures, and against this economic system built on colonialism, inequality, and corporate power that perpetuates all forms of oppression and the destruction of the environment. On the night after the brutal police attacks on the demonstrators of Occupy Oakland, the Oscar Grant Plaza was reoccupied, and a massive General Assembly was held by thousands of residents of Oakland. It was in this General Assembly that Occupy Oakland came to overwhelming consensus to call for and organize a general strike. Occupy Oakland and the General Assembly has no leaders and no political parties involved in our decision-making process. The decisions for the general strike was made by the people of Oakland themselves in a grassroots, non-hierarchical process. We call for a general strike not only in Oakland, but we also call for a general strike around the country and around the world, because we know that the wealth of the 1% is produced by the work of the 99%. On November 2nd, the people of Oakland will strike and show our refusal to continue creating wealth for the 1%. We also call for a day of action in which the circulation of capital is blockaded, students walk out of their schools, and people stage various occupations of schools, foreclose homes, workplaces, and self-organize to take back control of our lives from the 1%. Occupy Oakland has called for all banks and corporations to close for the day of the general strike, or demonstrators will march on them. Demonstrators also plan to blockade the Port of Oakland on November 2nd. Occupy Oakland intends to picket or occupy any workplace or school which takes disciplinary action against strikers. People around the world have awakened to the chokehold that capitalism has over all of our lives. We make the call for general strikes across the country and the world because globally we have recognized ourselves as fellow victims of world capitalism. And now we are building movements so that we won't be victims anymore by striking, occupying, taking over, and reclaiming our workplaces, our farms, our schools, and our lives. Thank you very much. My name is Louise Michelle. Louisemichel.
My name is Boots Riley. I'm from the rap group The Coup and also from Street Sweeper Social Club. And I'm also a resident of Oakland. On Wednesday, November 2nd, as part of the Oakland General Strike, we will march on the Port of Oakland and shut it down. We will converge at 5 p.m. at 14th and Broadway and march to the port to shut it down before the 7 p.m. night shift. We are doing this in order to blockade the flow of capital on the day of the general strike, as well as to show our commitment to solidarity with the longshore workers in their struggle against EGT in Longview, Washington. EGT is an international grain exporter which is attempting to rupture longshore jurisdiction. The driving force behind EGT is Bungie Limited. a leading agribusiness and food company which reported $2.4 billion in profits in 2010. This company has strong ties to Wall Street. This is but one example of Wall Street's corporate attack on workers. The Oakland general strike will demonstrate the wide-reaching implications of the Occupy Wall Street movement. The entire world is fed up with the huge disparity of wealth caused by the present system. Now is the time that people are doing something about it. The Oakland general strike is a warning shot to the 1%. Their wealth only exists because the 99% creates it for them. I also want to point out that right here, I have an inter-office memorandum from Deanna Santana in which she says that the SEIU approached them and asked them to let their workers off for the day on November 2nd. And in response to that, she says that any worker who chooses to take part in the general strike of Oakland will not face disciplinary action from the city. It also lists various ways which they can do this. We will scan this and post this up on the internet. Thank you.
All right, what was it you said?
What are you going to do?
Yeah,
Evidently the police are going to meet you in
speaker number
court.
2.
What are you going to do when you get to the court and the police block you, block you?
Well, I think we're the people. Hopefully the police will let the people express themselves. We'll do questions afterwards. I'm Boots Riley, Bootsriley. Thank you.
My name is Clarence Thomas. I'm a third-generation longshore worker here in the Bay Area. I'm here today speaking as the co-chair of the Million Worker March movement. And I know that the media likes sound bites. Well, I'm going to give you one. The reason why I and other workers will be standing in solidarity on Wednesday for the call for the general strike by the Occupy Oakland movement is because this is a movement about fighting corporate rule with worker power. I'll say it again. Fighting corporate rule with worker power, the 99%. For the last 30 years, with the introduction of computer and other technology, American workers have been providing their employer with increased production. At the same time, workers' wages have remained stagnant. It looks like this. That gap represents corporate profits. The profits that the 1% have been living off of and participating in to the detriment of the 1%, to the 99%. Today, only 7.2 of workers in the private sector belong to a union. That is the lowest percentage since the year 1900. And one of the reasons for that is because of corporate rule run amok. But we must be very clear about something. This is not about a crisis on Wall Street. This is capitalism run amok. Capitalism has failed us. It no longer can deliver the goods. What does it say about a country who has billionaires right here in the state of California who are employers, but have their products produced in Asia where they have people working for slave wages? And the only way that's going to be turned around is when workers rise up. And one last point. I'm a worker and I know a little bit about history. because my union was involved in the 1934 general strike.